Hi, this is ENX04, and today we're going to build a ghast farm that uses far less obsidian than other portal-based farm designs. And we'll supercharge this farm with a portal elevator so that the player can kill the ghasts with the Looting 3 enchantment. This quadruples the number of ghast tiers that you can get from the farm, and also gets you 2.5 times as much gunpowder. That way, a simple ghast farm like this one, which has only 4 portals, can produce a whopping 1,100 ghast tiers and 1,400 gunpowder per hour. This ghast farm design is exceptionally efficient with obsidian, using only about 1/8 of the obsidian that you would normally expect. And this means that you don't need to build an obsidian farm in order to have a decent ghast farm. In fact, with a diamond efficiency 5 pickaxe, you can mine all of the obsidian needed for this farm in only 14 minutes. And keep in mind that this farm that you see here is just an example. You can customize the farm that you build, so if you don't need 1,100 ghast tiers per hour, you can just build fewer portals. Or if you want more ghast tiers, you can expand these 4 portals into a series of 6 portals, and you can stack them on top of each other. Or if you already have a ghast farm, you can convert it to a looting ghast farm by building the portal elevator and player station from today's tutorial. Feel free to apply the principles from this video to your specific situation. The player station for the farm is high over the nether roof, directly over the ghast spawning area, so that it's the only place where mobs can spawn. The spawning platforms are placed right next to the portals, which teleport ghasts to a special contraption in the overworld that serves as a portal elevator. This portal elevator is located high in the sky at coordinates that correspond to the player location in the nether. And since portals link to the closest matching portal in the other dimension, the ghasts that teleport from here arrive in the portal by the player, who kills them with a Looting 3 sword to quadruple the rates of ghast tiers for the farm. The farm is located in a soul sand valley, which is the biome with the highest spawn rate for ghasts, and applies pack spawning mechanics to the ghasts as well. This may not be immediately evident, because soul sand valleys apply spawn potential mechanics to limit the density of mobs in the biome. Ghanemban has some great videos that describe this mechanic, linked in the video description. You can check these out if you'd like to learn more. Ghasts are unusually large mobs, with a hitbox 4x4x4 blocks in size. They're rendered a bit bigger than their hitboxes, so you'll need to peek inside of a ghast if you want to see the hitbox and line of sight markings after pressing F3 and B. Despite appearances, ghasts' tentacles don't have a hitbox, and ghasts don't spawn in midair. They need to spawn on top of a surface, like other mobs, centered horizontally on a specific block. And due to its size, the ghasts that spawn in this farm immediately touch a portal, which teleports it away instantly, so that it doesn't impact the spawn potential around the farm, which would otherwise reduce the rate of other ghasts spawning nearby. The ghasts then appear in the overworld in this special portal elevator tailored specifically for ghasts. After going through a portal, a mob needs to avoid touching a portal for 15 seconds before it can teleport again. So these 2 portals alternate between being activated and deactivated every 15 seconds to give the ghasts a chance to cool down so that they can be sent back to the nether. While they wait, the ghasts are contained neatly in the 4x4 portal opening and are held in place by composters, which have a hidden hitbox inside that makes them act like vertical slabs. A ghast will suffocate if a full-sized, non-transparent block is present inside its hitbox at the eye line of the ghast, so the portal elevator is designed accordingly. The only thing at the ghast's eye level is this chest, which is not a full-size block, and this ensures that ghasts survive long enough to be teleported to the killing chamber so that the player can kill them instead. The killing chamber is just another portal with a 4x4 opening, again with composters to hold the ghast in place. Glass blocks are used to screen the eye line of the ghasts, so that they don't see the player as they approach the player station. The drops from the farm take an interesting path. They appear at the base of the ghast, at its center when it dies, which is inside the portal. While some of the drops are immediately picked up by the hopper minecarts under the portal, most of the drops in XP are actually teleported to the overworld inside the portal elevator. To make sure that none of the drops in XP are lost, we have these walls covering the lower halves of the portal openings so that nothing important gets out. Entities, just like mobs, need 15 seconds of cooldown before they can teleport again, so the portal elevator just holds the drops and XP for 1 cycle before sending them back to the killing chamber, where the hopper minecarts can finish the job of collecting the drops, and the XP has a chance to flow to the player. The redstone for this portal elevator is based on a hopper clock that switches position every 15 seconds. Just for illustration, the hopper clock shown here is faster to make it easier to see what's happening. The comparator output for a hopper depowers in the moment when the hopper is completely empty, and this causes a redstone torch to give a pulse that activates a redstone lamp. These lamps have a minimum duration, that's long enough for an observer to send a pulse when the lamp turns on, and another pulse for when it turns off. This gives 2 pulses each time that the lamp is activated, and this allows a dispenser to dispense water or lava to deactivate a portal, and then immediately collect the water or lava right afterwards. To activate a portal, you can just send a single pulse to a dispenser containing flint and steel. This can either be a short pulse from a redstone torch, or a long pulse from the redstone block. Okay, let's get to building. Start by finding a space on the nether roof in a soul sand valley. You want this space to be far away from any other portals, so that they don't interfere with the farm. And you want the matching space in the overworld to be far away from everything as well, and not in the spawn chunks. That way the portal elevator isn't loaded and doesn't run when the farm isn't actually being used. You can reach the nether roof by working your way up to Y121 in the nether, and then digging a short tunnel to explore overhead for a bedrock block at Y126 or Y127. You can use the targeted block information on the right side of the F3 debug screen to find the coordinates of the block that you're looking at. When you find one, place ladders all the way up to the bedrock block, and throw an ender pearl straight at the ladder while holding down both forward and jump keys, and you'll pass right through to the other side with a bit of damage. Now find a build site about 2 chunks by 2 chunks in size that's entirely within the Soul Sand Valley biome. This is easy to confirm because the sky has a dark teal color when you're standing in this biome, or it can have a bright teal color if you're using the night vision effect. From the intersection of the 4 chunks in the middle, go south by about 20 blocks, and then go up on 119 scaffolding until your feet are at Y247. Place a torch on top, add a scaffolding block to the north with a glass block on top, and then bridge to the north until you reach the intersection of the 4 chunks in the middle of your farm. Your feet should be at Y248. Place a glass block on the side of your bridge in the adjacent chunk. These 2 glass blocks mark the player AFK spot, and I've used red stained glass blocks just for reference, but you don't have to do this if you don't want to. Place chests at the end of these 2 blocks and expand them into the adjacent chunks so that you have 2 double chests. Feed hoppers into these chests, place rails on the hoppers, add 2 glass stopping blocks on the ends, and place 2 hopper minecarts in between. Expand the platform for the player station to 2x4 blocks in size. Now add 4 obsidian blocks over the rails, and build a portal frame so that it's 4x4 on the inside. On top, place a slab near the middle, and remove the corners of the portal frame to spawnproof from ghasts. From one of the missing corners, bridge out in front of the portal opening on one side and add a composter. Repeat this on the other side as well. From inside the portal frame, add a wall on the side opposite of the player station. Now stand in the middle of the portal frame and record your X and Z coordinates before lighting the portal. In the overworld, break the portal that you just came through, and then take the X and Z coordinates that you just recorded a moment ago, and multiply each by 8. Go to this location and pillar up until you reach Y243, and then add an obsidian block so that your feet are at Y244 when standing on it. Bridge out in opposite directions to make a line of obsidian 4 blocks long, add corner blocks at the ends with 2 obsidian blocks on top of each, and then make 2 high walls to cover the portal openings. When you're done with the walls, add a composter outside of each wall. Add another 2 obsidian blocks to one side, place a redstone lamp next to it, and then place an observer looking at the lamp, powering a dispenser with a water bucket inside, and then a temporary block, an empty dispenser, and then replace the temporary block with a hopper pointed into the empty dispenser. Pillar up on 2 more obsidian blocks, and then place a line of 6 blocks on the other side, with a hopper clock on top, as shown. Place a redstone lamp over the empty dispenser on the end, another hopper pointed down next to it, and then complete the portal frame with 2 corner blocks and 4 obsidian blocks in between. Set an observer looking down at the redstone lamp, powering a dispenser with a water bucket inside. Place a dropper over the hopper so that it points into an empty dispenser. Place a solid block next to the dispenser and 2 more on top. Now add a hopper feeding into the dropper, pulling from a double chest. Build a 2-high wall on the other side of the portal, with a composter on the outside of the wall. Build a second portal frame on top of the one below, also 4x4 in size, on the inside. Craft your flint and steel and place them into the chest. A minimum of 20 flint and steel is required for the farm to work. An initial stock of 64 flint and steel will last 12 hours. Add 39 dummy items into the hopper clock and attach redstone torches to the blocks at the ends of the clock, the ones that have dust on top of them. Let the clock run through a couple of cycles and then check to make sure that the 2 previously empty dispensers now have flint and steel inside of them. You should see the 2 portals alternate being activated and deactivated every 15 seconds. Finally, place a composter on top of one of the sticky pistons and attach a torch to it. Now step inside the portal to return to the killing chamber. From the AFK spot, place 2 rows of glass blocks overhead, and then a row of top slabs. Add blocks to each side of the AFK spot, and box it in with 2 top slabs, so that you would need to crouch down to enter and exit. Now climb down the scaffolding until you're back on the bedrock, and go 20 blocks north to find the same intersection of 4 chunks at the center of the farm, and build 4 portals centered here. There should be 4 empty spaces in between adjacent portals, and the portals should each have a base 21 obsidian blocks in length. So that's 10 blocks in one direction, and 11 blocks in the other direction, away from the farm center. Add corners to the base of the portals, and pillar up on 19 obsidian blocks. Finish the top of the portal, and you should have a portal opening that's 21 blocks long and 19 blocks high. To spawnproof the top of the portals from Ghasts, remove the portal corners and then place a bottom slab 3 blocks away, and then every 4th block, or just slab the whole thing if you don't feel like counting. Ignite the portals before starting on the spawning platforms so that any Ghasts that spawn during construction will just be teleported away. The light from the portals will also prevent any other mobs from spawning here. Ghasts can spawn 2 blocks away from a portal and still touch the portal, so the spawning platforms are just narrow strips of any normal building block, 4 wide between the portals, and 2 wide along the portals on the ends. The vertical obsidian pillars obstruct Ghasts, so the spawning platform can stop 2 blocks short of running the full length of the portal opening. The portals are tall enough to handle a total of 4 layers, with 4 empty spaces vertically between the layers. To use the farm, go back to the kill chamber and enter the player station by crouching down. Ideally, use a sword with looting 3 to get the most drops, and mending to keep the weapon in shape. Aim straight up and attack about every second, and to AFK, place food in your offhand and hold down the right mouse button, or use a regeneration beacon. Like most portal-based farms, this farm will work just fine if you're in single player, or if you're alone on a multiplayer server. But if there are other players on your server, the farm will only work if at least one of the players is within 128 blocks of the portal elevator in the overworld, or if none of the other players are in the overworld. Eventually, the flint and steel in your portal elevator will run out, and you'll need to restock it. Build a portal about 20 blocks south of the portals in your spawning area, and then go through to the overworld. This can be the entrance and exit for your farm if you like. From here, head north about 300 blocks until you see the portal elevator, and then pillar up or use scaffolding or fly up to the top. Craft more flint and steel, and place them into the chest. Every stack of flint and iron ingots for making flint and steel will add another 17 hours of AFK time to your farm. And remember that the portal elevator isn't loaded by the game when the farm isn't in use. You can upgrade the farm if you like by expanding the 4 portals in the spawning area to 6 portals, and then you can expand further by stacking the portals on top of each other. You can stack up to 5 sets of 6 portals this way, before the spawning platforms become too close to the player to permit spawning. You can boost the rates another 25% or so by adding a pack spawning skirt at the Y level of the highest spawning platforms. Just go out from the spawning platforms by 5 to 10 blocks with glass, bottom slabs, or string, or any other block that doesn't spawn mobs. This upgraded farm produces 7,200 gas tiers and 9,000 gunpowder per hour, using about 30 stacks of obsidian. Your sword in this case should probably have sweeping edge to make sure that you kill the ghasts quickly enough. Large ghast farms like this are mainly used for gunpowder, and they should definitely get you more gas tiers than you'll ever need. Gas tiers are useful for regeneration potions and for crafting end crystals, which are fantastic PvP weapons, but they're normally used for summoning the Ender Dragon again, which can get you up to 20 end gateways on the main island after defeating the dragon 20 times. Summoning the dragon again also regenerates the obsidian pillars, if you like to mine obsidian this way, and it also gives you additional opportunities to collect dragon's breath. So I hope you find this farm to be useful, and I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. Be sure to check out the video description to learn about any updated information that can help your build go as smoothly as possible. And before I go, I'd like to thank my Discord community for reviewing the drafts of this farm and of this video. Your comments have been invaluable, so thank you, and thank you all for watching today.